I would call this regular meeting to order of the Village Board of Trustees at 6 p.m. First order of business is pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On a second order of business, I'd like to do a moment of silence for George Tucker. Okay. Any changes, additions, or removal to the agenda?
No, sir.
Approved minutes from the previous meetings. Let's see, that's,
There's actually two, isn't there? I only
Yeah.
have the one on here, though, but I have to have
the special one I missed.
Yeah.
One is in here.
You'll,
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 5, 2024, and of, what was the special meeting? I left it at home, that paper.
The 19th,
19.
November 19th.
11/19,
I would-
2024 as written.
I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from citizens? I see none. Department head reports. Everything looked good.
Yep, everything right now is, both departments are, everything is, operating as should. Obviously, first go around with the snowstorm on Thanksgiving was a long day. I think crews worked about 16 hours that day. The roads were horrible. Did a pretty good job getting around with minimal breakdowns. Only thing we forgot, and Ron and I both remembered at about 2 in the morning, was the crosswalk signs that were still out. But we've picked those up since. So
I saw one headed down the road in a loader bucket this morning.
Yep, they were being taken out. So we kind of all said, "Oh, you know what? Those are out," and just something you didn't think of. But they all managed to be, because of the middle of it. I think PD took them and moved them to the side of the road. So essentially, they got buried, but they've all been dug out and will be stored for the winter.
Awesome. Nice job. Aged receivable reports. Looks like it might even be a little thinner than the last one.
Absolutely.
Yep, we're continue to move in the right
Doing well.
direction. So
Doing well. Allocation review and possibly approve 8 Andover Street.
So this is the building that I guess is formerly known as the Grange Hall in the corner of Andover Street. They're going to repurpose it. It will become a single-family, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. So they're looking for an allocation and a hook-on.
Now, that has been off the market for a while, right? The sewer and water.
I believe so.
In their ads, they say there's no sewer and water hookup.
Yeah, so they're going
Yeah, I
to
noticed that.
hook on, and it will be a 4-bedroom.
Basically, that's just turning a valve, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Not that matters a lot, but was it sold? Does anybody know? Because it's been for sale for
I'm
like
not sure.
5 years. So just make a motion
Yeah.
that we accept the hook-on fee for 8 Andover Street for 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathrooms.
I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
SS4A resolution discussion.
And this is something with regional planning. Logan is here to discuss this, so I will defer to him.
So, I think I sent everybody an email a couple of weeks ago about, so we have a federal grant at MARC for Safe Streets and Roads for All. It's a federal program to write a safety action plan. And the goal of the safety action plan has to be to get to 0 deaths on our roadways. 0 deaths, everybody that uses the road, pedestrians, cyclists, cars, vehicle traffic, anybody that's on the road. And so we're working on that plan right now. It should be ready in about another year. We're in a drafting stage right now. We should have a draft for people to be able to review this spring. As part of that process, the U.S. Department of Transportation would like all of our towns to formally adopt the goal that we have set. And so we've been working with a contractor, a consultant, to start to draft the plan and to get some good data on where our current traffic deaths and road deaths are. They think based on our data that it's a reasonable goal, somewhat ambitious, but reasonable, to set a goal of 2040 to get to 0 deaths. And so 2 weeks ago, on November 18th, the Mount Scottney Regional Commission Board, consists of members from all of the 10 towns in our region. They adopted this resolution, basically the language that you have before you, just for the Mount Scottney, for the region as a whole. I changed the wording just to say Village of Ludlow instead of region. And other than that, it's the same resolution that I'm asking the village to adopt as well. The long and short is that it's a federal program. We need everybody to adopt this resolution to make us eligible for up to about $1 billion in federal grants to implement things that will go into the plan. I would say too, just that I had sent an email a couple weeks ago with a story map and a survey. We are still asking for public input on that survey. You have the ability, if you open the survey, to drop a pin on the map and then say, I find this location dangerous for this reason. I had a near miss here. I had an accident here. I think, it's just a dangerous spot that I think people are going to get hurt. I haven't seen a lot of that data yet. I'm really hoping that people do, opt into that and take that survey and let us know about all the dangerous locations in the area throughout the whole region, but especially in town. There's one spot in particular down by Pond Street, right on the corner of Benson's, that I think of as being dangerous. I'm waiting for that to kind of spontaneously make it there. I don't want to put it in, but I want to see if it makes it in there on its own. Because I find that spot to be one of those spots that I would just flag as there's going to be a pedestrian collision there at some point.
Are you talking where the
Sunoco.
Where you go straight, if you're coming south on 103 and you can turn straight, or you can just stay straight and go onto West Main Street.
It's a cluster right there.
Pond Street.
There's too much.
It's a bit of a blind corner, and if you're coming out of West Main Street walking, you can't see traffic.
But there's also
and they don't always put their blinker on.
And people don't know which way you're going, then you throw into the Sunoco and you have into the increased traffic because of West Hill. That whole area is just petrifying.
The painted side crosswalk, sidewalk dynamic there. I think that's a dangerous spot that I'd like to see us, put into this plan as being the kind of location that we could attract or we could attack. And then, if it does make it into the plan in that way, then it would open up this $1 billion in funding for a potential grant application to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other things that other towns have highlighted are guardrails. It's really hard to get funding for guardrails. If it's not already included in another highway project, guardrails on their own can be really hard. But Weathersfield specifically really wants to use this program to do long stretches of guardrails on roads that don't already have them. just as examples of the type of funding that might be available.
So right now, Logan, we're just voting on the resolution,
Just the resolution.
and at some point, we'll vote on the plan. Or that just goes into the grant.
I'm not sure, actually. I guess I should make sure.
That was
about
just a question.
I would expect that you would vote on the plan. The plan is a regional product, so I guess I'm not sure if you formally have to, or if you just,
I mean,
it becomes a product of the Mount Regional Commission.
I think the
Like your
resolution's great, and I,
Yeah.
So do we take a motion on that?
Yeah.
Make a motion on
Yeah.
that? The motion to adopt the SS4A resolution for the town of, the village of Ludlow.
Village of Ludlow, right? Yeah. I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a,
Yeah, I almost got hit there the other day,
Yeah.
coming out of the power company.
It's funny 'cause I agree.
Someone shot through and never put a direction.
Do you remember when they blocked it off for a day and people lost their minds when they blocked that off?
Yeah.
They lost their minds. They were But I feel the same way because I actually walk there often.
I can get signatures on that. While I'm here.
Oh, you first.
I had,
You're the head.
yeah, I had something in here with signatures on it. Is
I had
it?
it right here, but this is different. This one's
That's
just a
different, okay.
town of Ludlow. I think that, maybe the town manager does
Oh, that's the regional commission.
that? Okay,
And so Rose or Terry would sign.
I get that.
For the town, because they're your representatives to the regional board. Thank you very much.
There you go. Now you just need Justin.
I don't, actually.
No, because you got two.
Oh,
No, because I don't want the signature of the person that didn't vote.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
yeah,
It's
agree,
true.
agree.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Logan.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Fiscal '26 budget discussion.
So just a brief, update probably in the next couple weeks, even the first of the year. We'll have to look at, I've been starting to work on it a little bit, but we'll have to look at the village budget. So far, pretty straightforward. No real surprises that we have. I think probably taking a look at the sidewalks is probably the biggest thing that we gotta look at from a village standpoint right now. But I'll get you drafts of that within the next, we have usually about another 30 days out from the town. The town's budget is due before that, so we're in a pretty good place right now, so.
So we're looking to have it finalized towards
Early January.
early
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
Municipal manager update.
Only really two things that I have, other than, I already kind of touched base on the start of winter. Everything there went pretty well. Ron and I are trying to dial in exactly for the spring, the ARPA funds with sections of the sidewalk we're gonna do. So we'll get that to you, just make sure we're all on the same page, after we, delegated those funds out. So we kind of want to get that contract in place so we can get ready to move into the spring and get that done very early on. Kind of had some discussion today a little bit about, in the spring and summer. So they've awarded the paving bid for the village from 103, from the village line to village line. It was awarded, I believe, to Fuller Paving. So that's going to be done. We're going to have a meeting next week with the state and the engineer for the project, just on a few concerns we have with some of the, parking cutouts and, which, some of the stuff looks like we could end up eliminating parking spaces, but I think that's not something that we want to do, if at all avoidable. I already know that we've talked about taking out the ones that are in front of Dunkin' Donuts, because that's, you know, an accident waiting to happen realistically. And, you know, if it wasn't for the stoplight here,
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot more
Yeah.
severe accidents, because the stoplight slows everybody down. So, yeah, ARPA funds there with the sidewalks. I believe you should have emailed everyone a copy of the first draft of the town charter for the merger. I believe you have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, that's a very overview. I've asked for some comments. People have come back with some comments. There's some things there that are, you know, we've already decided to take out that are pretty, you know, pretty standard stuff. But if you can just take a look at that, if you have any comments, probably after the first of the year, or maybe even sooner, we'll have to have a meeting just of the boards, the water commissioners, trustees, and the select board, just to kind of have some cohesion there before, because ideally that's going to go to a vote in March. But, you know, I think having a draft of a charter, and the charter, you know, if you can look at it, it's not an overbearing charter. It's pretty dry and to the point, which I think is good. But having that in place right now I think is a big step in that process. So, and that's really it. Other than that, everything else is kind of, obviously the mountain opened. So I think we're kind of switching into that mode a little bit, was, you know, our services, and things are going well. Holiday party is Thursday. So,
Good. I gave you a couple comments, I think, about the,
yeah.
yeah, and I'll look it over again.
Yeah, and those are things that, so we go through them, and if, you know, we look at them, change them, then we'll get another draft. But
Yeah.
it's working pretty well right now.
Okay, cool. Other business? No other business. Set date for the next meeting, January 7th, 2024?
No, 2025.
2025, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
That's right.
Lost a whole year already.
I know, right?
God, please don't make me go back.
So that sounds good. We signed the warrant orders, we've already done that. Do we need an executive session?
We do
for some
not.
Contracts. Okay,
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I would second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was short and sweet. Yeah, I think you do. But then you get at least sleep in tomorrow.